Hello and welcome to the show. This is episode 10 of the Life of Gaming podcast. This is a big one for us, the big 1-0. We finally made it to double digits. This week, also for this show, real quick, being Memorial Day weekend, one thing I would just like to do real quick for all the brave men and women out there serving and the ones that we have lost in the past, just real quick, a moment of silence for that. Okay, well, you all know me. My name is Jamie. I am the captain on this cruise of video game awesomeness. And you all know my my co-host, the Skeeter Valentine to my Doug Funny, Mr. Josh Brandt.
Dude, that is too awesome.
Oh, dude,
You're talking to the guy that when I went to a summer camp once when I was a kid, and I lied about my name the whole time I was there as Doug. That's how much I love that show.
Well, that fits pretty well. I bet most people don't even know who Doug is, sir.
Oh man, go Google Doug. I mean, that's a classic right there.
Right. Oh man, dude, that's hilarious. Well, you guys, you all know this podcast here. We know that there are a lot of great people out there making some awesome content, and we always like to bring on a special guest to sort of share that content with you and let you get to know the creator behind that. And today, we've got Brett from Nintendo Enthusiast and PlayStation Enthusiast. Brett, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm pretty good. What about you?
We are doing great. How about Brant? What are you doing, Brant?
Fantastic.
Brett, we're very happy to have you on the show here tonight, man. Just to get started, let people know a little bit about yourself before we get into what you're working on the video game side. Just a little bit about your family, job, things like that.
All right. I write about video games, as you know, for a string of websites. We're trying to build up more websites currently, but right now we have Nintendo, PlayStation, PC, and we even do like film and TV and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, but that's video game related.
Right.
Otherwise,
that's okay.
I am a proud dad of 2 young kids, 1 and 2, and I have a fiance named Amanda. She's awesome.
Awesome.
I hope she's awesome. No,
She's
that's
right.
great.
You're sticking around, so that's good, right? Well, I mean, on the video game enthusiast side, so are you writing for all the sites, or what are you doing on the website side?
Lately, for the most part, they got me on PlayStation Enthusiast because we're trying to build up that website because it's behind the Nintendo and PC sites, so we're trying to build up the popularity and the fan base.
Awesome. I mean, now is the PlayStation side, is that the newest page you have right now?
No, it's been going on for a while. Like our latest one that we added was Film Enthusiast, and that's all movie stuff.
Awesome. Do you have things like comic books and stuff like that, or is it?
Not yet.
Okay. That's in the works, right?
Yeah, we're trying to cover everything sooner or later.
Awesome. Well, like I said,
do you have like a group of writers that write regularly for your publication, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking for more writers because currently, I don't think we're on our newer websites. We need to be having a lot more content than we're producing, so we're always looking for new writers.
Awesome.
We probably have about 12 regular writers.
Cool.
Who are constantly doing reviews and features and stuff.
Awesome. I mean, it sounds like that's actually working out really well, and it continues to grow. So that's actually pretty cool, man.
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
Oh no, sorry. I was just gonna say. I mean, besides the writing, is there any kind of video or podcast or anything else you're involved with right now?
Not me. No, I've been staying on the writing side of things. On Nintendo Enthusiast, we have a popular YouTube channel, but I haven't been a part of that yet. I've been trying to figure that out and get to start doing some more video stuff.
Sure. Awesome. Well, hopefully after tonight you'll realize how cool it is to be in podcasting.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been
Start your own podcast
to do it more. So this is a practice kind of.
Good. Get your foot in the door. Just give you a taste of what it's like.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Well, with that, guys, we're going to hop into our news section in what we like to call Captain's Log. Okay, guys, on the news side, with E3 right around the corner, there's not a lot of news out there right now, but real quick, I'll just hit the various systems. On PlayStation, right now, PlayStation announced that with their E3 conference, as they've done in the past, they're going to offer viewing in movie theaters. So they've got a list of movie theaters you can check out and watch it live there. They'll also be giving away some, good PlayStation swag and download codes and things like that. What about either of you guys? Do you have any interest in watching the PlayStation conference live, like with a group of fans like that? What about you, Brett?
Are you talking about like live at E3 or live at the movie theater?
Well, like the E3 conference being streamed live at the movie theater, like for the people that can't make it to the actual conference, so they all go to the theater to watch it as a group with like-minded people.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. I mean, if I wasn't going to E3, that would be the next best thing.
Awesome. So you're all set up, ready to go to E3 already, huh?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's actually my first one, too.
Oh, awesome. So, I mean, are you going to be going to any specific conferences? Are you going to be sitting in the PlayStation conference, or are you more going to be checking out the show floor?
I'll probably do all PlayStation stuff, so yeah, I'll be checking out the PlayStation conference and like figuring out all their new indie games because they're going to have 1,000.
Oh, absolutely. We've talked about that in the past. I mean, PlayStation is very heavy on their indie games.
Oh yeah, they're dominating right now.
Oh, definitely. What about you, Brant? I mean, I know that we always have our big E3 get-together every year, but do you see people having interest in doing one of these movie theater experiences? Because, I mean, if they did it last year, they probably saw some success with that.
Yeah. Dude, I remember before we had our big E3, like, get-togethers, I was watching, like, E3 on my small little phone. Just trying to get all I could out of that. It was like terrible because the internet would go out and then it just like lose all that. And I was just like, come on, phone. But yeah, I mean, be able to go to a
E3 goodness.
Exactly, but to go to a theater, I didn't. Before you even said that, I didn't know they were doing this. So that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, like I said, it's only the second year they've been doing it. But like I said, they must have had success with it last year. Because people like Brett going to E3 can check out the show floor. Other people, they want to get that experience, and like with you, Brant, I'm assuming a lot of people are sitting around either watching it on their phone or just on the computer at home by themselves, and just to be able to get together with other like-minded people to enjoy it. I mean, it's awesome. It amplifies the excitement of E3 that much more.
Yeah, it's like going to a concert. I mean, everybody that goes is pumped for it.
Exactly.
If you can't be there, then yeah.
That's right.
It's hard to like find that like group of friends too, like in your daily life. So it's going to be like nice to get like with a group of people who like share the same love as you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
exactly.
With something like that, like you said, being in a digital world, especially in video games, people have a lot of friends on their PlayStation, on the PlayStation Network and things like that. But they're all over the place. Because, I mean, with the way you make friends now, they're not necessarily the guy down the street. They're the guy across the country or, in another, in Canada or the UK or wherever. They're not just the guy right up the road anymore.
It's a lot harder to meet somebody and talk about video games than it is to talk about other, like outlets like movies and music and stuff like that. It's still awkward to bring up in a regular conversation.
Yeah, that's very true. That's part of the reason, like, Brant and I started the podcast in the first place. We love talking about video games, but it's hard to find people with the same mindset as us.
Yeah, let's do this.
That's right.
But I'll also point out, like, on Facebook, the different groups you can get into. Like, I'm in Kinda Funny with Greg and Colin.
Yeah.
And Podcast Beyond. And, I mean, there's Unlocked. And, I mean, just a bunch of different video game groups you can get in. And it's pretty awesome to be involved with those and, like, just communicate with other people that share that same passion.
Exactly.
Anything that cool happens, you just can always share it to thousands of people immediately.
Yeah, because
exactly.
I mean, when we're younger and you didn't have things like the internet and Facebook and all those things, and you heard about an awesome video game story, and you wanted to tell somebody, and there was nobody to tell. You just felt like you were going to explode.
Your little sister.
Yes.
Like, I gotta tell somebody. And so as a kid, you like run up and like yell this thing at your mom, and she has no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Oh,
Who's this, Mario? Mario.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious. The other thing on PlayStation News, they just said that they are currently working on a expansion for Bloodborne. I know a lot of people probably saw that coming, especially how successful that is. But Brant, what about you? I know you loved Bloodborne. I mean, are you excited for this expansion coming out?
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting it at some point, given the success of the game. And, yeah, I'll probably be digging into that once a release date's set, and I'm interested to hear about what setting it's going to be taking place. I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be the same time period, whatever, Victorian England. But it'd be sort of cool if they like took it somewhere else, like did like a gothic, like pseudo Japanese, like I don't even know. I think they could do something completely awesome with it.
Sure.
I think they.
Yeah, go ahead, Brett. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it'd be nice of them to like take the game somewhere like a lot different. Like it, like throughout the whole game, it's a very dark and like dire game. Like, you kind of get sick of how dark it is the whole time. It'd be cool if they brighten things up.
Sure.
Right.
And what about your experience with Bloodborne? I mean, did you play through it already, or what about you, Brett?
I actually watched my friend play through the whole entire thing, so
cool.
I didn't really feel the need to. But he loved it, but I didn't think I would really get into that much, just because I'm not even a huge fan of like really hard games. I kind of just like the easy experience, the fun.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
And so, I mean,
Yeah.
just what about like gameplay wise? Are you into those kind of? I guess not really hack and slash, more of like a strategy action game in a way. I guess. Are you into that style of gameplay?
I wasn't, and then I got The Witcher a couple days ago, and it's really good.
Sure.
And it's like kind of similar to Bloodborne. After watching that and then playing this, I can see like the similarities. Mm-hmm. Well, I still suck at it though, man.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet, and I don't think I'd be much better. But just to throw this out there, if you guys haven't seen Brant's Let's Play of Bloodborne, he's not much better at it either.
Falling off of horses, yeah.
Dude, oh my
That's
gosh,
all you
Brant,
have to see.
I can't believe how funny that was. Dude, like, those guys were attacking you. You're like, get off the horse, and you fell off backwards. Dude, I was losing it. That was.
I don't even know how I did that. It's just
Dude,
so
that was
random.
so funny. So you guys make sure to check that out.
If you want a good laugh, just watch me play a video game.
Right. And especially your commentary, dude. It's perfect.
Good to hear.
Oh, that's right. But Brett, I guess just out of curiosity, like what kind of video game like genres are you most into?
Lately, honestly, I've been mostly into games that like revolve around a good story and like what type of story they can tell with a game.
Sure. So I'm more like where, like point and click, like.
Nah, I'd say more like the past couple of games I've been playing are games like Dragon Age, which have like a whole bunch of lore that you can read up on.
Okay.
And like just like that kind of cool stuff when you can really see how much work they put into building this world and like everything around it. And I don't know, just like meeting cool characters and just like figuring out their backstories and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah, and Brett,
sorry, go ahead, Brett.
I was just going to say, didn't you think it was awesome that CD Projekt Red, their love letter to like gamers that bought this game, all the stuff they included with the game? I mean, that was pretty incredible.
That I regretted buying digitally.
Oh, you bought it? Okay.
Oh no!
Because you got like you got a map, you got a thank you letter, you got a soundtrack, you got.
I know that was crazy. Yeah.
Like this art book. I mean, yeah, it was incredible, and I'm like. Yeah, everybody just needs to go out and buy this game just because these guys are awesome.
Right. And with The Witcher, that was a game that really wasn't even on my radar much. But after seeing all that love and care they put into it and just how much they care about the fans, I'm like, wow. I mean, and so I actually went and looked at because cash is tight. So I went and looked at my budget and I'm like, can I get this game? So I'm considering it. But that is definitely one I really want to check out now. Just seeing their love for what they're doing gets me excited for it, even when it wasn't on my radar before.
Oh yeah, dude. Same here. I was not even thinking about buying it. I was just going to wait for Batman, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to get The Witcher right now because it looks that good.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, that's definitely going to be one that I will check out in the future. Real quick, to get into some Xbox news, many of you, I don't know if many of you know, but there's a reward program on Xbox called Xbox Rewards. It's kind of like what Club Nintendo used to be, but what they did with Xbox Rewards, they gave you points, which would count toward, credit and money and things like that. Well, they just put into beta for people that are by invite only. You can get physical rewards on Xbox Rewards now. And eventually people are guessing this is going to open up. So anybody on Xbox Rewards can start getting things, t-shirts, hats, that kind of stuff. Which is pretty cool because, with Club Nintendo, that was always one of my favorite parts was the actual physical rewards of that. But what about you guys? Have either of you been involved with like Club Nintendo or any of these other kind of, game clubs that get you, physical rewards?
Oh yeah, I was really big on Club Nintendo the past year that it existed.
Yeah.
I used to have a whole bunch of Wii games, how that were still at my old brother's house that he still lives at, that I used to live at, and I went and got all my old cases just to check and see all the Club Nintendo codes would work.
Sure.
And surprisingly, every single one of them still went through, so it was pretty awesome.
So you probably got plenty of points and plenty of rewards for that. Then did you get anything good, like any T-shirts or bags or anything like that?
I got a whole bunch of posters, like that Smash Brothers collection.
Oh, yeah. I actually got that myself. I actually need to hang those. I've got them all. Yeah, I still got them wrapped up, ready to hang them. Because I actually have my Legend of Zelda poster and Pikmin posters and some other stuff I got from Club Nintendo that I do have hung up. But those Smash ones, I still want to frame them.
Yeah, they're great. They're up on the wall in my 1-year-old's room right now.
Awesome. Nintendo is fun for all ages.
Exactly.
Even grown men.
That's right. What about you, Brant? I mean, I know you've been mostly a PlayStation gamer. I'm trying to remember. I know PlayStation had that PlayStation Club Underground, whatever it was called, for a while. But I can't remember if that had physical rewards or not. I mean, have you been involved in any kind of reward program before?
No, actually, I wasn't involved with the PlayStation one, but I did get involved with Club Nintendo.
Did you really?
I heard about, when I first got the Wii.
Yeah.
You were mentioning about how you could get, redeem those points to get games and other stuff. So I checked it out and I'm like, oh man, because I had a lot of games that I could register in the system and the fitness pad or whatever that's called. I don't
the Wii Fit Balance Board, yeah.
Yeah, Wii Fit, there we go. But I just registered all those and I was able to get Super Mario 64 and Link to the Past and some other, good downloadable games. Nothing like a physical thing, which I think that program was really good for the physical side of things, just because you couldn't get that stuff anywhere else.
Exactly.
So which is sad it's kind of sad that that's the only way you can get stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Nintendo puzzles me with that.
And especially toward the end, it was just strict digital when they knew people wanted the physical rewards.
Exactly.
So I think with what Xbox is doing with their physical reward program is definitely going to be, I see it as being beneficial. I think more people will join Xbox Rewards because I don't think a lot of people even know that exists. So maybe physical rewards might bring more people into that program. The other thing real quick to throw out about Xbox, they just announced that the limited white Xbox One with the Master Chief Collection, that console will be coming to America. They've been selling it in other places around the world, but recently they said that they are going to bring it to America. It's going to be a limited quantity, but if you haven't gotten an Xbox One yet and you wanted that white console, versus the standard black, keep an eye out for that. The other thing with Xbox, real quick, this is actually in the rumors category. I don't know if you guys saw or not, but today it was all over Facebook and Twitter. Someone posted a screenshot of a tweet from the Xbox Australia Twitter account that said that Tomb Raider is going to be a full Xbox exclusive, not a timed exclusive. And people thought that was going to be announced at this year's E3. Do you guys think there's any kind of truth to that rumor at all, or is that just all smoke and mirrors?
I think maybe it might be true. I just don't see why Square Enix would want to do something like that.
Sure. I mean,
Because you got to figure they're missing out on a lot of money unless somehow they're managing to pay Square Enix.
that's what I'm
Which
wondering.
would,
Because,
that'd be a loss for them.
well, yeah, but Xbox really needs something to, fight against Uncharted with.
The mighty Uncharted
Right.
4.
And I mean, Tomb Raider really does fill that void. I mean, they're pretty similar. But Xbox and Microsoft would have had to throw a lot of money at them to make that a reality. What do you think, Brant? Do you think there's any kind of truth to any of that?
I don't. It's hard to say right now. I mean, it could just be some disgruntled employee just trying to, say something. But yeah, I mean, it saddens me because I really did like the rebooted Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
But
That's
at the
great.
same time, there's so much to play that it wouldn't be a huge loss, I guess.
You're just
because
saying that you
I'm
got
never going to
Uncharted.
buy. Let's be honest. I'm never going to buy an Xbox One.
Sure.
PS4 is enough for me, but yeah, that's one game that I would like to play.
Yeah.
So.
And honestly, I feel like the Tomb Raider reboot, I actually didn't get to play that until I got my Xbox One. And then when I got my Xbox One, that was actually the game I bought with my Xbox One when I bought it. And I loved it.
Awesome.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, the remastered version was great.
Yeah, and it looked a lot better than the actual original one, which is surprising.
Yeah, I mean, and just like everyone kept making fun of the hair physics in that game.
Yeah, but you
really
looked
good.
at him the whole time.
I know, it looked great. And I'm actually super pumped. Honestly, Rise of the Tomb Raider for me, as long as it's still releasing this year, because it could get pushed back. Obviously, everything's getting delayed. But as of right now, I'm probably more excited for that than probably any other game that I could think of for the rest of the year right now. Because I mean, Halo 5 is going to be great, but I'm not like the biggest Halo fan. But I'm super pumped for Tomb Raider right now.
Yeah, if Tomb Raider does come out this year, it's probably my most anticipated game as well.
Awesome. Wow. We are in agreement, sir.
But the thing is I was going to wait for the PS4 version, but if they announce at E3 it's not coming to PS4, then that means I actually get to play it sooner. So
yeah,
I kind of hope it is an exclusive.
Sure. So I mean, for you then, Brett, do you have all systems right now?
Yeah.
Awesome. So does that include Vita and 3DS as well?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. You are covered, sir.
I love my Vita.
Oh, see, Brant, you got another Vita.
I got another support. Yes. Ride that Vita train.
That's right. And
it's way underrated.
There's actually a rumor going about the Vita, like they're going to maybe drop down the price point to like $98.
$90.
Yeah, I was like, man, that is insane.
That'd be a steal for anybody, and it still won't sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. I mean, man, I just hope that people realize just how good of a system it really is.
I've had it since.
I've
had it since like the first couple months it came out, and it's literally been my most played like any game system for the past like 3 years.
Yeah, me too. Because when you have kids, I mean, it sort of helps bridge that gap. Because I mean, Eli even can play on it. I mean. Some of the puzzle games and stuff like that. It's great.
Yeah, my 2-year-old, he's been obsessed with playing Sonic Transformed on there.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was on there. Cool.
Yeah, it was free a while back on PlayStation Plus.
Huh.
Okay.
Brant, you probably have it and don't even know it then.
I just have like this huge list of backlog games that I'll never get to. But.
It never ends.
That's right. And that is one thing that PlayStation is totally destroying Xbox with is the PlayStation Plus program, because you get so many games each month. On Xbox, you get 2 for 360 and you get 2 for Xbox One, but normally that second one on Xbox One is just a carryover from the previous month.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer.
Exactly. I mean, I love my Xbox One. I think it's great, but I agree. I really wish that Xbox Games with Gold was more like PlayStation Plus. That would have been awesome.
And every single time it's a game that I want, it's like the 360 version and not the Xbox One version.
Exactly. And I don't even have a 360 anymore, so that doesn't help me at all. Although, every time there's a Games with Gold on 360 that I want, I go on to the website and I claim it. So in case for whatever reason someday I get a 360 again, super cheap or whatever, I can download all those games. Because you never know.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine buy his PlayStation Plus like a couple months in advance before he got his PS4. So for 3 months straight, he got to claim like 10 games, and as soon as he opened his PS4, he had like a huge backlog of games already.
That's awesome. That's actually
That's
really
genius.
smart. I mean,
Yeah.
how much is PlayStation Plus? It's like $50 a year or something, right?
Yeah, or like 17 every 3 months.
Okay. I mean, it's not too bad actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
awesome.
a steal.
Yeah. The only thing is, though, if you have all systems and you're paying for Xbox Live, you're paying for PlayStation Plus, and then if you're paying for the EA thing on Xbox, and you're paying for like those Best Buy clubs and all that other stuff, though.
PlayStation Now.
It adds up. But if you only have one or two, you're okay budget wise.
Yeah, with my Xbox One, I mean, I'm definitely doing something illegal, but I'm able to share games with my friend.
Oh, sure.
Like every game that he buys on his Xbox One will automatically download on mine. So.
Sure, it's the quote unquote family share program, whatever they call that. Or if you have multiple Xboxes in a home, I forget how it works, but it's something to do with your login information. Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
So as soon as I bought my Xbox One, I already had like GTA, Call of Duty, so it's pretty cool.
Dude, that's awesome.
We'll keep it on the down low.
That's right.
To the 5 viewers we get that.
Right.
I don't think anybody works at Microsoft.
Dude, it might work its way up. They'll be like, your podcast is canceled. Oh, dude, that would be hilarious. Real quick on Nintendo news, there isn't much with them except that tomorrow they are doing the final Splatoon test fire. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. So if you didn't get a chance to check that out yet, hop on there. It is a blast. The full game of Splatoon comes out next Friday. But if you want to try it before you buy it, tomorrow would definitely be a day to hop on and check it out. Brett, did you get a chance during the last test fire to play Splatoon at all?
Dude, I'll be honest. I don't know what is like. I don't understand that game. Like, I don't understand why it's fun. I haven't played it. I have not played it, but I just watch it and I'm like, what is fun about this?
Dude, there's something
awesome.
about that game. It's really funny because like I started playing it. I'm like, okay, that's okay. Like on the first test fire, I played it. I'm like, okay, it's all right. But after I stopped playing, I thought to myself, I want to play more of this. Like there's something about it once you start playing. There's just like this really addictive feature of that game. Maybe it's just because it's something totally new. I just want to play more of it. So I'm actually.
I have a theory. I think it's because it has the Nintendo name. Oh, this is the new thing that Nintendo's bringing out. We have Zelda, Samus.
They finally made a new IP, so I guess that's kind of cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've had other ones along the line like Pushmo and things like that, but they're like much smaller, so not really in in the spotlight at all. This is the first big IP, like console-based IP I can think of in a while, from Nintendo.
Okay, so can you tell me, the point of the game is to paint everything, right?
It's a turf war where, at least in the test fire mode that they're doing, they're only showing off one mode, which is to see who can cover the most ground with their color. So it's pretty much just a back and forth, third-person shooter battle.
So
but it's
is
family
that
friendly.
the game?
That's just one small portion of the online multiplayer. There's a full single player campaign. I forget how many missions. Yeah, there's a full single player campaign for that. And there are other modes online. The way they're doing it with Splatoon is kind of weird. The game comes out, like I said, it comes out next Friday, and it's going to come out with online multiplayer and single player and all of that. However, the ranked matches aren't going to unlock until you hit level 10 with your character. So they want to make sure you get comfortable with the game first. And then they've got this string of free DLC rolling out. At least they've got plans till the end of August. So it's going to unlock more maps, more modes, all that stuff, which is a new strategy for Nintendo. But a lot of people are complaining, saying, I'm not getting the full game on day one, and they're all upset.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, I understand that argument. I just don't. It just doesn't seem like when is the game release again?
Next Friday.
And we know of one mode.
No, they've announced all the modes. They actually had a Nintendo Direct for it that showed off all the weapons, all the way he levels up, the way the amiibo work, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even watch that one. I don't understand Splatoon. I mean, the one thing I think they nailed, and I actually think the game's going to succeed, is because it looks like something new and different.
Sure.
And that's probably exactly what they were aiming for.
Well, yeah, I mean, Nintendo wanted to put their own spin on the online shooter. The only thing that a lot of people are complaining about, no voice chat. People are very unhappy about that. Although I've got mixed feelings about that because playing Splatoon on the test fire, there were certain matches where we were just rocking it. We were working really well as a team because you could see the map. You can see where your teammates are. You can see where they're in trouble and all that stuff. There's no direct contact. But there were other games I'd hop in, and no matter how well I was playing, we would get destroyed because everyone was just sort of doing their own thing. You really have to work as a team in that game to succeed.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say it's a big deal not to have voice chat, but at the same time, who doesn't have, like, a smartphone sitting next to them or a laptop or an iPad?
Yeah.
Like, at all times that you can just easily talk to your friend while you play.
Exactly. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. I mean, I'm excited to see it. I wouldn't say I'm, like, super optimistic about it because I'm worried that when that game comes out, the audience might fall off right away.
It's going to have the Titanfall effect.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about it having the Titanfall effect. So we'll see.
Isn't it like doing really well already with sales, like on Amazon or something?
I haven't checked the sales on that at all. That's a good question. That'd be a good thing to find out. But
I thought I read an article a couple days ago saying it's like the most pre-ordered game like of the month or something like that.
Wow. That's actually pretty cool.
Surprised.
I mean, I think the test fire actually worked really well for them because a lot of people are getting hyped about it. People that didn't really know much about it. Once, like you said, Brett, you don't really know what it's about. But once you get your hands on it and play it, it's actually, it clicks. And there's just something really cool about it.
Yeah, I have a feeling that even though I'm very, like, I'm not really about it right now, I have a feeling after I play it, I actually might change my mind.
Sure. The only other thing I wanted to talk about real quick, just a real quick update on some of the Kickstarter stuff we've been talking about. Bloodstained, a lot of people have been talking about that. That is from the creator of the Castlevania games. It blew its goal out of the water, sitting at $2.5 million right now. And Yooka-Laylee, it blew all its goals out of the water, and it's sitting at $2.6 million right now. So Kickstarter, it's kind of turning into a way for creators to greenlight their projects for bigger publishers, kind of like what Shovel Knight did. You know, we all went, like, I kickstarted Shovel Knight, paid my $15, and to me, it was more like I'm pre-ordering a game in advance because I know it's going to come out. So at least with these bigger companies, I feel like it's going to be successful because there are stories of kickstarting games in the past, not me personally, but other people I know who kind of got screwed because they put the money down and the company just evaporated. So you don't really know what you're going to get into. But Brant, you wanted me to bring up this whole Kickstarter conversation because I know you had a few things you wanted to say about that.
Well, I just think the whole Kickstarter thing is awesome in a way that I love that these franchises that could never be made by other major AAA publishers can come out. And I personally, I don't have the money to crowdfund. Like when you paid the $15 for Shovel Knight, was that getting the game for you?
Yes, for the $15, it got me the game. There were other tiers. If you paid more, you get like T-shirts and all this other stuff, soundtracks and whatnot. But the only problem with kickstarting something, like I put my money down on it, and I knew it wasn't coming out for like a year and a half. I had to wait like a year and a half for that game to even hit Wii U. So you're putting your money down, but you got to wait quite a while to get it.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, since you got the game, that's pretty awesome. Like, if you put in like a Mega Man Mighty Number 9, that's pretty cool that you could get the game right away if you just, kickstart it. And judging by the success of Kickstarters, I don't think it's going to go away because these developers see now that, hey, we can actually, if we get a good idea, we can, make this work. And that brings up a whole other problem, though, in that I think that it could get flooded in a bad way. Yeah. Like with the shovelware stuff. And, I mean, as long as people have money and are willing to, fork it over to get these projects started, I mean, if it's a game I want, I'll buy it, Well,
so. Brant, I'm going to start a Kickstarter of a game called Brant's Mighty Beard. Okay, everybody, give me your $15 and we'll see if I make it.
And it's like it's going to be like Bayonetta, where my beard like goes out and makes fists and like hits people and stuff. Wouldn't
That's
that be
actually
cool?
a really, really good idea.
Don't worry, it doesn't cover my skin, so
Oh, my goodness,
there's none of that.
As long as
nasty.
the hair physics are good.
Right. It's got to be
beard
better
physics.
than Tomb Raider. Well, what about you, Brett? What do you think about this whole kickstarting kind of fad that's going on right now?
I used to think that it wasn't right, just because like all these developers are kind of just never taking any risks because they don't have to spend any money or try really. They just have to make a Kickstarter and see if it works. And if it doesn't, then oh well, you know. And they don't have any like anything bad happen to them ever. Like they don't have to take any chances.
Sure.
But then when you're seeing games like Mighty Number 9 that I really want to play, but it wouldn't even exist without Kickstarter. So then I sort of kind of like turned that around because a bunch of stuff's coming out that I'm probably going to end up playing that's getting Kickstarted.
Sure. And
It's just cool that that stuff wouldn't exist without it.
Exactly. And a lot of the games now, like you said, like Mighty Number 9 and this Bloodstained and the Ukulele, and these are all games from people who have already made games in the past. And so you know you're going to get a good game out of it. So I kind of feel like the ones with, you know, the directors who already have this great history and backlog of all these awesome games, it makes you feel a little more comfortable to kickstart it. So kind of like what I said before, when you're putting down your $15-$20, it's just you're putting your money down to pre-order it more than anything.
Exactly. Which one was Bloodstained?
That is the one from the creator of the Castlevania games.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know about its success. Success. I was just listening to a different podcast talking about it and that they're about to launch their Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think they're at like 500% of their goal right now. At 21 days left. So, and Ukulele's at 900 and something percent of their goal.
That is insane.
I mean, these games. When people said 3D platformers aren't popular anymore, we're not going to make them. And then these X-Rare guys came and said, yeah, they are. We're going to prove it. So they make this Kickstarter. In like less than, 40 minutes, they made their goal.
So if you're an old famous developer and you want to kickstart something, then that's the way to go.
Yeah, it seems to be.
It's cool because like the internet is a mighty source for people to figure out who anybody is now. Like,
yeah.
Like, if you want to know who made Mega Man, you used to not be able to just figure that out. You used to be a kid and you didn't know anything, and now you just type it in on Google, and then you know who that is, and you know what they're doing, and you know that they're making another game, so you're going to support it.
Exactly. I mean, Kickstarter, it can be good and bad.
Oh, yeah.
Well, real quick, I'm just going to get into the money-saving section of our news that we call My Two Cents. Real quick, on PlayStation, if you're looking to get a PS4, E3's coming up, and you know you want to get a new system, play all the awesome games they announce. Right now, PlayStation on Amazon, you can get a PlayStation 4 with the Last of Us bundle and an extra controller. That comes with Last of Us and the Order, and that is $400. At Walmart, you get Last of Us with an extra controller for $400.
So both deals, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
then if you buy a PS4 at Walmart bundle or whatever it happens to be, you get a free copy of Destiny. So you get a free copy of a game there. Also, one more thing to throw out for PlayStation right now on Dell's website. If you pre-order the Arkham Knight for PS4, you get 3 months of PlayStation Plus for free. So that's definitely an opportunity there. So if you need PlayStation Plus, that's always an opportunity. And if you're looking to get Batman, because Batman comes out next month, Batman's going to be huge.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing, real quick, on Xbox, we mentioned these last time, and they're still good. You can get the Master Chief Collection with an extra controller, that Xbox One bundle over at Walmart for $350. Or if you want to get the Assassin's Creed bundle with an extra controller, you can get that over at Amazon for $350. So you're looking for an Xbox One and you want to get some games, extra controller, that's the place to go. And for Nintendo never really has sales. But for them, I mentioned this last time, you can get a refurbished Wii U with Nintendo Land and Super Mario 3D World on Nintendo's website for $225. So that's definitely, another opportunity for you. But do either of you guys know of any other deals going on right now?
Currently, no. No good deals right now.
Like I said, oh, sorry, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say just like the PSN deals that they've been doing lately.
Oh yeah, the flash sales and stuff like that.
Yeah, PSN just has an awesome deal like every week.
Yeah, yeah, and I know on Xbox they do a special games with gold sale every week. I can't remember what it is right now. I haven't been checking those. I think it's like Destiny half off or something like that.
For PSN, they have like a DLC sort of deal, like all the add-ons to like games that feature like heavy downloadable content. They're like discounting at really great prices right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, real quick, guys, we're going to get out of our news section and let you guys know about what we've been playing in a section we like to call Time Log. Okay, real quick, in Time Logged, Brett, what have you been playing lately, man?
I've been playing The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
It's Witcher 3 all the time, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I haven't played it a lot, but I've been wanting to play it a lot.
Right. That always seems to be the case for all of us, though, right? You're like, your schedule's so busy, and you want to fit more gaming time in.
Exactly.
Well, what about you, Brent? I'm assuming it's the same.
Yes, Witcher 3 all the... No. I haven't been able to play it as much as I want to.
Oh.
But I'm going to start this off by saying on the Vita, I've been playing Titan Souls a little bit. I don't know if you guys check this. Well, James, obviously.
Not me.
But Brett, it's a really awesome puzzle.
I played it for about 10 minutes, and then I shut it off.
That's how awesome it is.
Yeah, that's how awesome it is.
A shiny endorsement from Brett.
Nice little puzzle boss simulator, and what I like about it's really simple. That you just have one arrow to take down something, but it can be incredibly complex. And so I've really been digging that. And like I said, The Witcher has taken up my night times.
Sure.
And that game, to me, so far has been up on par with Bloodborne. The thing that's holding it back for me, I think, the animations, like the in-game animations, Geralt seems really stilted.
Okay.
And if you watch my Let's Play, there's times when you could see I was like caught on things. And,
yeah.
Like trying to traverse some of the regions, like he just, I don't know, something about it's just off to me.
Dude,
it doesn't
I know
flow.
what you mean. Like his running, like, and like say like you're running and you want to turn around, like it takes like a U shape to turn around. You can't just turn your body around without like moving. Like it's very weird.
Huh.
Very weird of them like to choose to do that. And another thing that's like annoying with this game, especially right after playing Dragon Age Inquisition, is the damn horse.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Brant on your Let's Play video. You have problems with the horse as well.
I was making it more complicated than it needed to be, but yeah, I mean, it still doesn't.
That wood pile.
I like how when you when you just press the X button, you just follow a path. Awesome. I like that option. That's in Far Cry 4 too, with like a car. I like how more games are doing that, but yeah, to me it's just really stilted. But I don't take anything away. I mean, the ambition of this game is incredible and is so far beyond
anything I've ever imagined.
Yeah. Right. Shout out. But yeah, I mean it's pretty awesome in that regard.
Cool.
It is. I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface of the game. I'm like 8 hours, 10 hours in.
Yeah, I think they to do everything in that game, isn't it like 200 hours? Like it's some crazy amount of time.
Yeah, I mean it's Skyrim-esque.
Yeah, it'll take a while.
Pretty much.
Well, for me, guys, I've been playing, my Shovel Knight Let's Plays. I got those up. I'm through Polar Knight. I actually have the Battletoad stage loaded and ready to go. I just got to get that up. So, guys, you got to check that out. The other thing I'm doing right now, as you know, in the past, Brant and I would do some freelance review writing. And I've been playing through Life is Strange, episode 3 of that. So I'm actually working on the review. I'm actually working on the review for that. I mean, I'm really enjoying that series a lot. So yeah, I'm about halfway through episode 3 right now. I'm hoping to finish that up, especially with the 3-day weekend, get that done and get that review up as well. So I've been working on that. And then on the side, like I mentioned last time, getting all hyped up for Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I've been playing through Unity for the first time. And I know a lot of people have complained about that game, but since I'm playing it so late, they've patched a lot of those problems. So for me, I mean, every once in a while, some of the cutscenes are kind of choppy, just a little bit. But actual gameplay itself has all been great. I haven't had any issues with it, so I'm actually just sort of chilling back and enjoying that as well.
That game, I had that game, and I got the same feeling as you, James. Like, I didn't think it was as bad as people were saying, but at the same time, I sold it because I was like, okay, there's just too much to play. I don't really care about playing this game as much as other games. So,
and that's what happened to me with Black Flag. Because, like, because I never played Assassin's Creed 3. Because what happened, Assassin's Creed was one of my favorite series in college. 1 and 2, especially Brotherhood. Brotherhood was my favorite. But the one after that, I'm trying to remember what, Resistance? Or no, what was that called? I'm trying to remember what that was called.
No, you said Brotherhood.
I said Brotherhood. It's the one after Brotherhood. That one, when I started playing that one, and they added
Revelations.
Yeah. I started playing that one, and they added what do you want to call it? Tower defense stuff to it, and it just started getting out of control. And I just got, for some reason on that game, I just got burned out. And so when 3 came out, I just felt like I was done with that series. I felt, it's just, I don't want any more of it. And then Black Flag came out. I'm like, well, I'll give it a try. So I was able to get it pretty cheap on the Xbox One. And at the time, I was playing other stuff, and I got through it, but there was just so much to do in that game. Like with you, I felt so overwhelmed. I'm like, I can't get to all this. And so I just, like you said, I sold Black Flag and just moved on to other things. But I've been away from the series, I feel like, long enough now that I'm back into Unity. I feel like I'm hooked again. I'm really enjoying what I'm playing so far. But I'm only 4 or 5 chapters in, so I'm not that far into it. But so far, the Assassin reminds me a lot of Ezio. And, the Ezio trilogy was really good.
Oh, yeah. I love Black Flag.
Me too.
I never really liked any of the other ones, but Black Flag made me want to get into the series. And then they got rid of pirates.
Yeah, I mean, the pirate part was pretty cool. I mean, I've heard they carried some of that sailing stuff over from 3, and Black Flag was great. But at the same time, I know they ended up getting fast travel and things like that in there. But some of the sailing kind of got monotonous and long in there for me.
Yeah, I was like sailing in games. I don't know why. It's just enjoying. It's just peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes back to the Wind
Waker.
Wind Waker.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, Wind Waker was great. I love that game.
When you think about it, it's not in much games. So when you get to do that, it's kind of cool.
Sure. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Black Flag for me, that's my favorite Assassin's Creed game. And it's funny because that's the game that's least like of an assassin. But yeah, I mean I could go back to that game, and I never finished it, but now that we're talking about it, I might just go back now. Yeah.
The story wasn't half bad. I mean, it got a little emotional at the end, so it was kind of cool.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, and like I said, it was a good game. I enjoyed it. But just that game, especially with the sailing, it made it feel so much bigger. And like I said, I just didn't have time to finish it. Mm-hmm. Well, with that, guys, real quick, we are going to hop into our topic of the week. Okay, guys, with our topic of the week this week, we're just going to sort of talk about, a little more freeform, just talk about some of our favorite video game stories of recent memory. I guess to start off this conversation, we'll start with you, Brett. What video game would you say is the first story where you were playing that game and you're like, wow, they are really starting to make video game stories, like movies, like, big time.
Okay, like big time?
Like big time. Well, I guess put it like the first one that really affected you. I guess we'll put it that way.
I mean, it's gonna be an answer that a lot of people have already heard, and it's The Last of Us.
Okay.
It's just from the beginning to the end. It's just an emotional roller coaster.
So, what were some of the? Well, I'm trying to find a way to talk about it without spoiling too much. But,
yeah,
that's almost impossible.
Exactly. With that game being so new, it's kind of like almost anything we talk about on that is going to be spoilery.
If you haven't played I'm just going to say it. If you haven't played The Last of Us, just stop listening right now and play it.
Right. Why don't you go out and buy one of those Last of Us PS4 bundles over on Amazon or Walmart that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, it comes with every PS4 now.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of a hard answer because I always give story in games like 3 different sections, and there's the actual story and what's happening, there's the characters, and then there's the environmental story.
Sure.
Yeah.
And each game like shines in their own categories, and I feel like The Last of Us shined in every category, which is hard to do.
Sure.
And on top of that, it had like awesome gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like a perfect gaming experience.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But then there's other games where like the characters are everything to you, like a game like Persona 4 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where the characters make the game. Like if it weren't for the characters, it would just be it wouldn't be the thing that everybody
the phenomenon loves. It's starting to become. Like
sure.
I'm super pumped for Persona 5.
It's just that attachment to those characters, absolutely. Well, what about you, Brant? I mean, what are some video game stories that have stuck out in your mind over the years?
Well, for me, with the PS3, Xbox 360 era, the first story that really affected me, I would say, was BioShock. That setting and just the lore of that universe just drew me in, and I've never really looked back from that. Those have been my favorite types of games that tell deep stories. If I want to go back further, Final Fantasy VII.
Oh yeah, okay.
That was the
you had
first.
That on PC, right?
Yeah, I had that on PC, and that's the story in that game is just phenomenal. How it starts off and then takes like this whole 360-degree turn, and it just goes off in one direction, and yeah, I mean, I thought that was phenomenal. Another one I want to point out, if you haven't played this game, any one of you, you're crazy. Red Dead Redemption. That game, that is just so phenomenal on many levels. And as far as story, as Western goes, I mean, it hits it right on the nail on the head.
Sure.
You're gonna hate me.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. That game is in my backlog.
Well, and Brant, I gotta be honest with you, man. Like, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. But for me, once I hit Mexico, it started dragging so much.
That's what everybody says, but it's not. It's not that bad.
Right.
I don't understand that. The best part is when you're crossing into Mexico and that that song comes on. I can't remember what it is, but it was just like, man, this is phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, just the mood and the ending. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you need to just experience the ending, which I think I showed you, James, just because I was like, no way that this happened.
So we don't want to spoil anything. We don't want to spoil anything for you guys.
Yeah, but like I said, my favorite types of games will always be story and setting driven. Like Fallout 3 doesn't have much of a story, or it's pretty, linear with the story, but the setting, like you said, James, when you first exit the vault and you're just looking out into the wilderness, your eyes adjust and you're like, you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you kind of like build up your own stories like throughout that game. Like in your mind, like different perceptions of what happened in this area and stuff like that.
Exactly.
It's sort of almost like a choose your own adventure book, right? I mean, just like, okay, if you want to go here, turn to the page here, And you don't really, you make your character. The game doesn't tell you this is who you are. You sort of make that up as you go along.
Yeah.
For me, guys, I'm going to go off on a totally different path than you guys. I think for me, I mean, even as a kid, playing video games on like NES and PC, like the old games, the old point-and-click adventure games for me is where I was like, this feels like I'm watching a cartoon. So games like Maniac Mansion, like on the NES, and the King's Quest games, and
Monkey Island.
Yeah, and all those point-and-click adventures, type on the keyboard, those kind of things. For me, like even as a kid, I noticed I'm going on this epic adventure. Like, and you felt like connected to these characters. And a lot of the older games did it through humor. So a lot of it was very corny, humor-based stuff. And I feel like as time has gone on, especially once we started getting to GameCube, Xbox, PS2, that's when story...
That sort of like fell off.
Yeah, and so the story then really started taking front and center. Games like, Eternal Darkness and Kingdom Hearts and, trying to think what... those games on PS2 really stood out to me as having these epic stories. Because like I told you on the last podcast, Brant, I bought my used PlayStation 2 back in the day because I wanted to play Kingdom Hearts. And I wasn't disappointed. I thought that game was awesome. But, I mean, for those games, the story really just started to open up. And things even like, Psychonauts, that was on the Xbox. And that was more of a platforming kind of, platform adventure game. But I guess really the next question I've got for you guys, what do you think is the best video game genre for telling stories? Do you think it's something like first person, like Fallout, or do you think it's more third person? Do you think it's more of the point and click style, something like now they're doing things like The Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us and stuff like that? What do you guys think is the best genre for telling a video game story? We'll start with you this time, Brant.
For me, I find the best stories are the ones that aren't taking the persona of you, like from a first person's perspective, but the ones that you play as like Joel from The Last of Us, or Silent Hill 2 when you play as James. Silent Hill 2, that's such an underrated story and setting, and that game is the first that really just freaked me out on so many levels. So many different meanings, but I think third person is the way to go because you get to see the characters that are involved in a better way, and it's just can tell a better story, in my opinion.
What about you, Brett?
I feel like I want to have two different answers.
Well, that's okay. We've got time.
Okay. Well, I probably have to agree with him. Third person is definitely the best way. I feel like I've seen it done the best way in third person, but at the same time, sometimes when you like look at something like Heavy Rain, like that game had an amazing story. It was an amazing game, and it didn't have like those problems that like a third person game that would like break you out of the immersion, like upgrading your shotgun and stuff like that. Just like random stuff like that, like gamey stuff. So I feel like the best way would be like a Heavy Rain, like Beyond Two Souls type way.
Sure.
But I feel like the best executed way has been third person.
Sure. I guess that brings about another question for you guys. Actually, now I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. I know what I was going to say.
You pulled a Brant.
Right. I pulled a Brant. As you were talking, Brett, about having control over the character, do you feel games where you sort of slowly take away some of the responsibility of controlling your character, like more like the point and click stuff, like Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us, even Heavy Rain to an extent, where it's less about being in control of the character all the time, and it's more about making choices? Do you feel like that tells a better story?
Man, that's a hard one. I feel like it should be able to tell a better story, but those games are so much rarer. Is that even a word? Are so much more rare.
We'll say it's a word today.
Okay, then like third person games who have often done story great, like Spec Ops: The Line and The Last of Us and The Walking Dead's not really third person; it's point and click. But
yeah, sure. But you do control a character third person, though.
Yeah, it's like kind of a hybrid.
Sure. Well, what
I
about
still feel like heavy rain style is the best way, but third person has been done the best.
sure? Well, what about you, Brant? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think every game has a story to tell. Like just
Thank
the
you, Captain
originals.
Obvious.
Yeah, just like Super Mario Brothers.
Right.
Tetris
Save the
has a
princess.
story to tell.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. It's the destruction of mankind when you get these bricks to fall. No, but yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like the whole Beyond Two Souls is another one that like you said. I think that format of storytelling can be the best if it's done right, which I think Heavy Rain did a much better job of than Beyond Two Souls. And
Did you play Beyond Two Souls?
yes, I did.
Oh, did you? Wow,
I
did not know
actually
that.
did. Yeah, it was a Black Friday sort of deal.
Awesome.
But yeah,
Hey, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
yeah,
me
I
too.
did.
There was some
Yeah,
weird
it was a
stuff in
good
the desert
game.
part that was kind of like off the beaten
God,
path a little
they
bit.
should
but,
not have had that in the game.
But the game as a whole, I really enjoyed it. I like what David Cage does. Like all his games are awesome.
Yeah,
I really wish he would turn that like prototype demo thing that they did a while back, the Kara demo or something like that,
Is that the one about
into a
the
game.
robot girl? Is that
Yeah.
one? Okay. Sorry, Brent. Didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going.
Yeah.
no, but the also the one when he did with the wizard, was he the
Yeah.
one that did the one
Yep.
with the wizard?
Sure was.
Yeah.
I like that too. But yeah, like I said, every game tells a story in some fashion. But like you said, I think there's still ways to go. On The Last of Us, like Brett, like you said, I think that was like the closest to just everything just coming together, and cinematics and character driven. That I actually felt emotion. Like I said before, with that first scene in The Last of Us, I actually, because having children, you can relate to that, I bet. I mean, I was just like shedding tears. I'm like, man, I'm done. The game's over for me. I mean, it's heavy stuff. And
Yeah.
I was playing that for the first time with my brother-in-law, who was only like 11 at the time, and he was crying with me.
I know, it's crazy. I'm sure if I would never let Eli see it right now, but if he saw, I bet he would even
toughen up. I'm going to show you this.
harden your heart.
Life is cruel, son.
But yeah, like I said, I think, and lots of people can say gameplay trumps, whatever, but I think actually story is what counts in games, and those are the types of games that I find the most enjoyment with.
Sure. And what?
I feel like...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, sir.
No, I was going to say, like, it just depends on the mood you're in. Like, there'd be times where I do just want to get into, like, a game that's really story heavy, but then other times where I just want to play, like, Velocity 2X for, like, 3 hours.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true.
And one thing I feel like video games can do that no other medium can do, like with stories, Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii, last generation, one of my favorite games of last generation, and the story in that game was awesome. I absolutely loved it. I thought the characters were great. I mean, some of the voice acting was kind of corny, but it grew on you after a while, and you really started caring about these characters. And with a movie, you sit down in the theater, you're with it for what, maybe 2 hours? But with a video game, when you're really enjoying the story, you are invested with those characters for like Xenoblade 100+ hours. So I feel like with video games in that medium, I feel like you really get to connect with the characters more than you would in a movie because you have that interactive experience of playing as those characters. I feel like you get more of an emotional connection through that than you do in any other medium.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree.
So I guess just to sort of cap off this discussion here, as of right now for this new generation, there hasn't been that many games out because we're heading into the second year. But is there any stories out right now that are really kind of standing out to you like this is an awesome story and this is what these new systems can do?
I don't
Need
think
me
so.
to go first?
Sure,
I'll
Brent.
tell you one.
Go
Just
for it.
after playing Bloodborne,
And we're back to
soul.
Bloodborne again.
See, it always comes back to blood.
It always comes back to Bloodborne.
The blood will consume you. I think that the Soul series, and I think they could work better with their storytelling, but the lore that what you can picture in your mind from the lore is phenomenal. And I just wish that they would nail more of the story elements with it. But those games, I mean, for me, are hitting the right notes as far as setting and just getting that aspect of it down.
Sure.
I think that there hasn't been a The Last of Us of this generation yet, but I still feel like David Cage's next game isn't even announced yet, and like Naughty Dog's probably working on The Last of Us 2.
Yeah. Well, we got to finish
And
Uncharted
I
first.
mean, I kind of take that back because The Walking Dead Season 2 was really good, and that's on this generation.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, for me right now with this generation, I mean, I know it's on previous consoles as well, but Valiant Hearts. Valiant Hearts.
I'm waiting
man.
to play that.
How could I forget about that?
Valiant Hearts, like, the thing that's really awesome about, I mean, that game, you feel emotional playing that game because it's connected to real life. They show you real letters from World War I, and like, dude, oh my gosh, you want to play an awesome emotional game? Check out Valiant Hearts.
Dude,
How long is
like
that game?
that's the second game that I like shed a tear for.
Yeah.
At the ending. And I played that. It's just a great history lesson, too.
Yeah.
Like, I had played it with Eli, and he enjoyed it, too, just watching, the side of war that you don't see.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how long is Valiant Hearts?
Oh, geez. It's not that long. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's not
5
long at all.
hours, maybe, if that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty short. But I mean, if you want to go back and get all the collectibles, that's actually the first game I 100%ed on my Xbox One. I loved it. I loved it that much. I played through it twice and got all the collectibles.
Does it have a platinum on PS4?
I didn't platinum it, so I imagine, did it have a whatever for the Xbox? Did it have that, James?
The Xbox
ultimate achievement? I don't know.
I don't think Xbox has that on most games. But I'm pretty sure it has, because don't all PlayStation games, even downloadable indie titles, don't they all have platinums now?
No, not all the games have platinum.
I wish.
I want to believe it does, but you might want to check on that. Even if it doesn't, it's just
play it
it's
anyway.
just great to play.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But you said it was 6 hours. So I was like, no, maybe I should get platinum.
Yeah, I mean, it's a short game, but prepare to be emotionally invested.
I'm ready, man.
Dude, it's a great game. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, there was one game series, talked of last generation, 360, PS3, we didn't mention, Mass Effect. Just because...
I just played all of those.
Yo, you just played this for the first time?
No. I played 1 and 2. Okay. But last generation, I played Mass Effect 3, and I loved it.
Yeah.
But then I missed out on 1 and 2.
Oh,
so
wow.
Just, like, the past 2 months, I don't even know how I didn't mention these. I just played 1, 2, and 3 all in a row on PS3.
Oh, wow. I mean, those games, for me personally, I liked 2 the best. For me, I think it would go 2, 1, 3, but they're all awesome. And that last generation, I think that's the first time for a video game series where it had a narrative through 3 full games. Like, you had to play through all 3, and just the little threads between all these different stories and the way they linked it all together. There's never been anything that ambitious before, and I think they nailed it. They absolutely pulled that off.
Yeah,
For
the
sure.
whole
And there
ending
was a
theme
lot
with...
of...
Well, I was just going to say the whole...
to bring that up.
Oh, okay. Well, we were on the same track. Yeah,
Sure,
the
go
whole
for it.
ending theme with Mass Effect 3, I mean, sort of dampened the awesomeness that they built through all the games, but, I mean, at least they tried to rectify
I
it.
genuinely liked the ending. I might get like a different ending than a lot of people, but I really liked my ending.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much the same for everyone. I think that's what the problem was, is that the choices you made throughout the whole series just came down to what color of light come shooting out. I think that's what a lot of people had a problem with.
But they also added, additional cinematics and some additional scenes and stuff, because I went back later and played through it again after all that extra DLC came out, and I felt like it really made a difference.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's one series where if they remastered that, because, it's the popular thing to remaster stuff now. If they remastered the Mass Effect trilogy, I would buy it in a heartbeat. No questions asked. I would totally play through that again.
I could have sworn, over a year ago, there was, an Amazon listing for the Mass Effect, trilogy, and it had, the PS4, picture.
Huh.
I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, a lot of rumors come out on those kind of games and they disappear. But I think with them, Mass Effect 4 is still really far out. So I would not be surprised if this year's E3, if they said, here's the trilogy, play through these awesome games, and then some of your story or whatever will carry over into number 4.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, that's a possibility. And honestly, I've already played through that game, that whole series, 3 times over the span of last generation. So, so that's because originally what happened, I played it on 360 and I beat it, really enjoyed it, but then I got rid of my 360 and then I bought a PS3 down the road and I wanted to play through all it again on PS because 3 was coming out. So I guess the original Xbox 360, I only played through the first 2. But then when 3 came out, I played through all 3 again on my PlayStation. And then when I got an Xbox One, and they said there may be some story connections between your 360 file and your PS3 file, and I had to change my gamer tag because I got locked in my old gamer tag, which is a whole nother long story. I'm like, I want to play through this again, so I've got a save file just in case anything carries over. So I went through and played it all again, and I loved it just as much every single time.
It's so good.
It takes a long time, though, but it's a good series.
I'd have to say, I used to think that 3 was the best, which a lot of people would hate that. But then I played through 1, 2, and 3, and I feel like 2 is the best, then 3, then 1.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people, for number 1, it's more, more RPG-ish, I guess. I don't really know how else to word that. And the other ones are more action shooter-based, I guess.
You know what's funny? Like RPGs, other than that, it's funny how stories originated from RPGs, like the deep, intricate stories came from RPGs, but now they sort of, and with the Mass Effect analogy, number 1 was more RPG laden, but the other ones have better stories.
Yeah.
And, great stories started in RPGs, but now they're going to third person or other types of gaming, and they're actually coming out better on that end. Sure. So, I mean, it's just interesting to see how that mechanic works.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, Mass Effect 4, they're probably going to at least tease it or show something about that at E3 in a few weeks. At least I'm assuming they will. So we'll see.
Yeah.
E3 will be exciting. Well, okay, guys, with that, we're going to wrap up the show. Brett, thank you for coming on the show, man. I hope you enjoyed being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, no problem. It was fun. I'll come on anytime.
Awesome. So I guess let the audience know, where can people find you? Online, Twitter, all those places. Where can they find you at?
Well, my Twitter, my PSN name, my Xbox Live name, and my Nintendo Network name is all Brett NLL.
Well, that makes it simple. Awesome. Is there any specific stories or anything you've written lately that you want to promote?
Yeah, I recently did 50 upcoming PlayStation games, so that's really interesting. It's cool to see that there's a lot more on the horizon than people realize.
Sure.
And a lot of them are really big deals, so that's really cool. And then I also recently published a top 100 open world games that everyone will probably disagree with, but you should probably read it anyway.
That's what you get for writing this kind of stories and being on the internet. Everyone's going to have their own opinion.
Always an argument.
That's right.
It was supposed to be less about the order, more about what's on the list, but nobody thought about it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
The numbers are so important.
As long as you have Red Dead at the top, you're good. I'm just kidding.
Oh, dude, you're hilarious. Well, Brant, where can people find you?
I'm at _the_Brant on Twitter, and you can just look me up at Josh Brant on Facebook and leave me a message. Yeah, go ahead and rate our show too. That would be great. That's always helpful. And
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, like you guys know, I'm on Twitter at James+12. Make sure to follow our page on Facebook, and we're also on Google+, Life of Gaming Podcast. And don't forget, you can find us on SoundCloud. We're on iTunes. Make sure to rate us on iTunes. And we're on the Microsoft MP3 Music Store. So make sure to find us in all those places. As we mentioned earlier in the show, E3 is coming up soon. It is right around the corner. Next week, we're actually going to do our... Thank you for that, sir. Next week, we are going to be doing our E3 show. Originally, we were just going to do one E3 show, make our predictions for everything. But with the amount of content coming out and with the amount of predictions that we have for each company, we decided we were going to split it into not one, not two, but 3 episodes. So next week, we are going to have a special Nintendo episode. And my brother-in-law is actually Matt. He's come back on the show to join us for that. We're also going to have a special guest. So next week, we're doing Nintendo. The week after that, we are doing Xbox with another special guest. And the week after that, we are doing Sony with another special guest. So if you guys want some E3 predictions, information, craziness, you guys absolutely have to check that out. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show. And until next time, we are out.
Bye.
Bye.